I now call this meeting of the Davenport Community School District Board of Directors to order. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Director Hayes, would you please read the mission and vision statements?
I'd be happy to. The Davenport Community School District is dedicated to growing excellence in academics, the arts, and the athletics of every child by ensuring the highest quality education in an environment shaped by our diverse community, preparing our students to be lifelong learners and productive citizens. Education that challenges conventional thinking, prepares all students to compete in a global society, and inspires our students, parents, staff, and community to answer the question, what if?
Thank you, Director Hayes. Director Klein-Jerome, would you please read the guiding principles?
Guiding principles. Opportunity. We provide abundant opportunities to empower students to reach their full potential academically, creatively, and socially. Collaboration. We foster an environment that allows students, families, and community stakeholders to come together for the betterment of our students' education and future. Transparency. We share relevant and important information with our students, families, and the community to maintain open and productive communication.
Thank you, Director Klein-Jerome. Superintendent Schneckloff, would you please read the goals?
Goals 1 and 2, enhance student learning and increase access and success for all students.
Thank you. Up first, I will now conduct a public hearing on the plans and specifications for the West High HVAC upgrades ESSER project as shown in the 95% plans and specifications. Notice of the hearing was published in the Quad City Times. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please step forward to the microphone or call 1-312-626-6799 and enter meeting ID 994-9021 8455 and passcode 143064. State your name and address for the record. Seeing and hearing none, I now declare the public hearing closed. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Hayes.
I move the board approve the plans and specification for the West High HVAC upgrades ESSER project as shown in the 95% plans and specifications.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries. For the record, I do want to note that Director Karen Gordon is online with us, and Directors Poshton and Potts are not in attendance tonight. We will move on to recognitions and to the Davenport Schools Foundation scholarship recipients. I'll turn it over to Superintendent.
Thank you very much, President Goza. Tonight is a very exciting night. We have lots to celebrate and to recognize tonight. Up first, we have past President, Mr. John Korn, who's going to come and share with us our scholarship recipients. It's an absolute honor and privilege to partner with the foundation. The foundation is made up of community members that care deeply about the Davenport Community School District, and that has been evident over the last many years. And efforts like yours, Mr. Korn, are not, they go with incredible efforts. And we thank you from the bottom of our heart. And tonight is an incredible night where we get to recognize some of our students for the hard work that they've displayed. So thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for helping us celebrate our students.
Okay, we're live. Can everybody hear me? Good evening. My name is John Korn, and I'm a member of the Davenport Schools Foundation Board of Directors, and I serve on the Scholarship Committee. We're pleased to present the 2023 scholarship recipients who have been awarded scholarships through the foundation to pursue post-secondary education. Prior to inviting the students to come up, we'd like to acknowledge the donors who are with us to celebrate this occasion. So if we have any donors that have come upstairs, please stand and be recognized. Anybody? I guess they didn't come up. We also wish to thank and recognize two of our scholarship committee members who are ending their service on the committee. Barb Riley is concluding 10 years of service on the scholarship selection committee. Thank you, Barb, for your dedication and service. Sherry Fries is concluding her role as co-chair of the scholarship committee after more than 15 years of service. Thank you, Sherry, for your outstanding service through the years. We're pleased that you'll continue to serve on the Davenport Schools Foundation Board. Thank you, Sherry. And I'm going to present our scholarship recipients by school. Students, when I call your name, please come up and we'll have you form a line and a group in front here of the board. So starting with Central High School. Sophia Avila is getting the Mary Elizabeth Sievert Scholarship. Amanda Baldry is awarded the Helen Poling Scholarship. Margaret Berger has been awarded the Fujiwara Weiss Scholarship. Emily Clemenson is awarded the CHS Class of 79 Scholarship. Maren Crowder has been awarded the Juergens Athletic Scholarship. Destiny Dixon has been awarded 2 scholarships, the Hall of Honor Jim Hester Scholarship and the Roberts Memorial Scholarship. Jacob Fee has been awarded the Fujiwara Weiss Scholarship. Delaney Graves is a recipient of 2 scholarships, the Geraldine Tallman Scholarship and the Roberts Memorial Scholarship. Kylie Morrow is a recipient of the Hall of Honor Jim Gronenboom Scholarship. Sierra Presson is awarded the Buttleman Arbisser Scholarship. Mateo Ramirez is awarded the Hall of Honor Kniep Scholarship. Mackenzie Saxton is awarded 2 different scholarships, the Carol and Cynthia Herring Scholarship and the Darrell Spons Scholarship. Broderick Thomas is awarded the Robert Blackburn Technical Career Scholarship. Preston Vargas is awarded the Hall of Honor Myers Scholarship. And Trapper Williams is awarded the Quad City Community Foundation Michaela Rose Duvall Memorial Scholarship. We'll move on to North High School. Cameron Becker. You're Gabrielle Hardy? Yeah. Okay, Gabrielle Hardy. Hang on. Oh, we missed you. I missed Gabrielle Hardy. Thank you, Gabrielle. This is a little confusing because we had some students that were not, anyway, you can see my list. I apologize. Thank you, Gabrielle. Cameron Becker, the Darrell Spons Scholarship. Malaya Carter, the Helen Poling Scholarship, and the Clyde Mayfield. Landon Freeman, the Joan Kohlberg Lowen Scholarship. Olivia Heller, the Jane Grady Scholarship. Alex Owens, the North High School Music Scholarship. Kalana Phillips, the Quad City Community Foundation, or Gendron Foundation. Kaylin Ruffin, the Catherine Bell Tate Scholarship. Is Harrison Stevens here? I thought I saw him downstairs. No? Okay, and from West High School, Curtis Campbell gets the Betty Nelson Scholarship. Haley Clare, the Helen Poling Scholarship. Anna Dennis, the Mary Link Powell Scholarship. Nathan Fornell, the Jack King Music Scholarship and the West Music Scholarship. Alexandria Peterson, the George Weiss Technical Scholarship. Haley Ramp, Friends of West Scholarship. Lucero Torres, the Jan Mutum Scholarship. Jackson Beliveau, the Daniel Wisely Warrior Scholarship. And these are our scholarship recipients. Please give them a big hand. Did I miss anybody? Are there any students I didn't call that I should have? No. Thank you.
All right, up next, our next recognition is students who earned the seal of biliteracy. I'll turn it over to the superintendent again.
This is an outstanding program that we have, and we're very proud of our students that have completed this. I see that one of our student board members is carrying a medal. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Mrs. Schaefer.
Sorry, I thought I was on. Just a quick recap. The Seal of Biliteracy, these students have proved proficiency in both English and one other language. Many of them are Spanish, that learned Spanish through the Davenport schools. Some are native Vietnamese speakers. We have currently given the seal in Spanish, Vietnamese, and Turkish this year, so I'm really excited about that. This year, I do have, if you want to go to the next slide, just some quick numbers, because I think it's amazing that these kids can prove proficiency, reading, writing, speaking, and listening in both English and their other language. Yep, keep going. Some of these students tonight, they are earning college credit for the Seal of Biliteracy. Some Iowa colleges are giving them up to 8 college credits for that, which is awesome. It also satisfies their language requirement for college. So just want to let you know how important and how awesome this really is. So just a quick fact, this seal has been given since 2019. We've given it to 128 students, and this year we have 24 graduating. They can only earn this upon graduation, so we do have sophomores and juniors who have already earned this that will be recognized during their senior year, which is already amazing. So, quick slide by numbers. So 40 students, not including the 24 graduating this year, have earned the seal, which is pretty amazing. All right, I know we're pressed for time, so. French, Vietnamese. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention we do have seals in French tonight, which is amazing as well. We can go to the students, sorry. Language, sorry, I'm a little not good tonight. More than 60% of our students, I just want to point this out, 60% of our students earning the seal are non-native speakers, which really speaks to the strength of our language department in Davenport schools. We do have some tonight that are non-native speakers. We have some tonight who are native speakers, so we are really representing both groups. Some of these students had to prove English proficiency, and that's what they had to work at. Some of these kids learned Spanish from the ground up, which is truly amazing. So with all, now that you guys have been waiting in anticipation here, our 2023 seniors are, sorry, by alphabetical order, Jackson Bellevaux. Do you want to come up? He really wanted me to mispronounce his name, but I know him too well. You're going to just line up. Yep, sorry, same process. Vivian Bond. Vivian is here. Edith Carrillo, not here tonight. Alex Chavez, not here. Gabriela Gonzalez, there you are, she's coming. Nick Grapp, Nick is back here. We have Emmanuel Hernandez, did not see him. Mason Jones, Myla, oh, there you are, right up front. Elizabeth Montes, Magdalena Negrete Vargas, Elise Perret, Eric Patricio, Jimena Ramirez, oh, Eric's here, Haley Ramp, Lillian Schaefer, Lily's not here, right? Rosie Sierra, Clementine Springsteen, Yesenia Tellez Chavez, there she is, Lucero Torres, Quen Tran, did not see him either, Lizzie Tubbs, Danielle Villanueva, and Shayla White. I know a lot of them had commitments tonight, so.
All right, our next item we're gonna do are the fine arts recognitions, and I will turn it back over to Superintendent.
Thank you, President Goza. Tonight, we have Mr. Schwegler here. And he's going to lead us through our fine arts presentation. But before we do that, Mr. Schwegler, I want to thank you for your service and the leadership that you've shown all of our programs over the last years, because Mr. Schwegler is retiring, and you've been invaluable to our district, and we thank you for your efforts and everything you've done. So if you wouldn't mind helping me recognize Mr. Schwegler.
Well, thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure to serve the Davenport schools for the last 10 years as the fine arts curriculum specialist, and I will miss the opportunity to do these kind of things, but what I'll miss the most are the relationships that I developed with all of our teachers and students and parents and staff. So thank you very much for that, and thank you for recognizing the fine arts tonight. And we are celebrating, let's see here, yes, we are celebrating our fine arts students and staff in theater, visual arts, and music. And I'd like to call up to the podium Thea Inveld from Central High School and Leslie LaCourte from North High School to talk about the different awards that we are recognizing tonight. So Thea will talk about the International Thespian Society.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thea Infeld, and I'm the theater director at Central. I'd like to start off by thanking the board for their tireless support of the arts. One of the highlights of being a theater director here at Davenport Schools is the support by our school board, teachers, and parents that make the arts so successful here in this district. It's that support that makes our students shine. 15 years ago, I came here from Colorado, not knowing what kind of school district Davenport Schools actually was. And it only took my first year to realize that Davenport really loves their community. It was that love that kept me here to raise my 4 children within this school district. And just yesterday, I graduated a lighting designer from Millikan University who learned all of her skills through this district and chose to be this path because of this district. So I'd like to thank you as a mother and as a director of Davenport Schools for all of the support you have given. So now I'd like to brag about my students at Central High School. I'd like to start with the International Thespian Society. We compete at the state level at University of Northern Iowa. And this was the first year we decided to actually it's the second time we've put in a chapter select studio presentation. And this year we were given the honor to go on to internationals with our presentation of Steel Magnolias. And I have students here that represent Steel Magnolias if you guys would like to stand up.
Oh, if you could even have them come as we listen.
Should I finish and then bring them
Sure.
up? Okay, cool.
Sure.
Okay. And then we have the ones that also competed in solo or group events. They're called the Thespies. And we have a student named Sam Bevins who was honored with the lighting design, Jillian Darlin for solo musical, Emily Wynn for solo musical, Croy Baker for solo musical, and Kaiten Rollins for monologue. And then we had a group musical of Croy Baker, Emily Wynn, and Gage McAllister. All were able to move on to the internationals this June. So if they would like to stand up. Cool. All these kids will be moving on to Bloomington, Indianapolis this June to represent Davenport and Central High School. And it's our first time we've ever brought a larger group. We've only had I think the max we ever had was 5 with the Thespia Awards, but this is the first time we're bringing a studio, so we're really excited. So that's our first chunk. Do I just keep going with my
So
next piece?
then we
or
need to
Leslie
also,
goes down this.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So we also need to acknowledge Vivian.
Yep. Vivian from North, Vivian Bondi right over here. Also could move on to International Thespian Festival with her stage management presentation. So stand up, Vivian.
That's all we do now.
Okay, well, we'll take pictures when we finish everything all up.
Okay. So the next piece is we also competed for the Iowa High School Musical Theater Association, which is kind of like the Tonys for high school. So that is held in Des Moines. And what they do is the adjudicators go around, and I think it was 96 schools total this year competed with this category. And then they send out different feedback forms to all of the students that competed, and then they give out certain awards. And for Central High School, for our musical Rock of Ages, we were given the Distinguished Scene Award for Harden My Heart. And then we had 3 awards for Outstanding Performance in a Leading Role was Croy Baker as Drew. Outstanding Performance in a Leading Role, Mia Roldan as Sherry. And a Special Recognition Performance in a Principal Role, Emily Nguyen as Anita. And the Croy and Mia will also compete for the Triple Threat this season.
So yeah, if we could have those students stand up, Croy Baker, Mia, and Emily.
And triple threat is a thing where after everything is decided, then a new group of adjudicators get together and decide who should represent the best of the dance, the singing, and the acting. And then they compete in a special round. And if they win there, then 1 female and 1 male represent the state of Iowa and move on to Broadway. And then they compete against all 50 states. The last 2 musicals at Central High School, we had the honor of having a female triple threat winner for the state of Iowa. Peyton Reese won a couple years ago before COVID, and it was our last musical. Before then, Emily Nguyen won last year. So we're lucky to have another 2 more students compete for triple threat. And I'd like to recognize Croy Baker for going back for 2 years in a row. So we're really excited for our students this year.
So Davenport North also competed and had several awards. We were one of 11 schools who got the Outstanding Overall Technical and Creative Achievement Award for our production of Newsies. The ensemble was recognized twice, once as all of the ensemble and once specifically as our Newsies who were in the Big Tap number, if you're familiar with the show. So that was exciting. Our individuals who were recognized, 2 outstanding performance in the lead role, 1 Orion Olson as Crutchy, and outstanding performance in the lead role, Marissa Peterson as Catherine. Special recognitions went to Michael Berhanke III as Jack and Olivia Heller as Meta. And our 2 ladies are here, if you want to stand. Olivia. So that means that Marissa and Orion will also be with Croy and Mia in the triple threat competition. And also in the closing medley showcase, originally we thought that Michael and Olivia were going to be there. It is a huge conflict with graduation, so that may not happen. But they are, each school is also allowed to send 2 students to do an opening or closing medley, so they get to be a part of that entire process, which is really fun. And they get special coaching, and it's a great opportunity. So there's a lot of opportunities that come through the IHS MTA. Also during the year, they offer master classes and opportunities, not just for performers, but for technicians. It is difficult because it's in Des Moines, so some of those days don't work out. Before COVID, they were even sending presenters out to us, which was really great. We had a couple of them hosted in Davenport. So there are a lot of educational opportunities for the students through this organization. It's not just the competition part. The coaching with nationally renowned coaches. They just had a full day of coaching this past weekend, all of the students in Triple Threat, and that experience in itself is just super special. The last thing for IHS MTA is that both schools, North and Central, have students participating in what they call the Spotlight Medley. So these students will perform live at the award ceremony on June 1st. They will be put into, is it 45 seconds for the duets too? 45 seconds of the piece from their show gets showcased with other schools, and someone smarter than me puts them all together so the music works. I don't even know. And so they will also be coached on that. They'll have a tech rehearsal on that, and then they use New York professionals will stage manage them and put them on the stage. So Croy and Mia will be doing their duet of High Enough, and Marissa will be doing her solo from Watch What Happens. Also, all of that will be recorded. Our overall Technical and Creative Achievement Award, we had to send in video of the piece moving technically so that they will take all of that and put that into the finished product. And all of this will be covered on PBS. I don't know when.
I have it.
You have the date? Oh,
Yes.
good. Okay.
So the showcase takes place on Thursday, June 1st, and it's live streamed on PBS. It just doesn't say the time on their website. But then after the live stream on the 1st, then they will show it on July 14th from 8:30 to 10:30. And then again on July 16th from 1 to 3. I'm assuming it's probably like 7 though, because I've been there before and it's like an evening performance.
Yeah, I think the performance starts at 7 o'clock.
But it's on PBS and it's live streamed. And it's really amazing because you get to see all 96 schools, the best performances that these kids could ever give live in front of the entire state of Iowa. So it's definitely worth watching. And then you can watch our wonderful students as well.
Well, thank you
Do you
very
want
much.
them all to come up?
If we can continue with the recognition, and then, yeah, stick around, theater students, because you're going to be, probably your name's going to be called again here. And we'll have them all come up here at the end, along with our teachers. So thank you. Let's give a big round of applause to the theater, though. Next, we move on to visual art. And I'd like to call up Dave Schaefer and Renee Ott to explain these art awards.
All right, so we have our biggest show of the year, which is Quad City Arts. We have a high school invitational. Each teacher is allowed to select up to 5 artists, and that's quite a challenge to only select your 5 best artists, as Renee could probably back me up on. Very competitive show where there are actual large prizes on the line, and the kids get to pick prices and actually sell their work, so they have to think of what the value of their own work is. Teachers are included in this, so we get to actually show that we also do art, so it's very competitive for the teachers as well to create a piece of art to put in this regional show. There are some additional categories they've recently added for film, wood sculpture, paper sculpture, and recycled materials. So the show is highly competitive and juried, and chance to win awards, scholarships, and we had 13 awarded students, making a total of 14 awards because somebody had 2. So we're going to read through these quick.
Yeah, and if students would stand up when their name is called.
All right. So we have Carly Tomlinson received the W.C. Griffiths Award for Whimsical Art. Destiny Dixon was awarded a Juror's Choice Award. Ella Strader was awarded the Joel and Diane Franken Award for Most Original Concept. Jacob Fahn was awarded the Stephen Prey Award for Creativity. Maribel Buxbaum Laura was awarded the Rock Island Art Guild for Ceramics Award. Tara Smith was awarded the Janice Hartwig Award for Outstanding Watercolor. Nina Rudenik was awarded the D Films Tag Best in Film. Laurel Hines was awarded the Senior Scholarship winner. Carly Tomlinson was awarded the Morency Family Foundation Senior Scholarship winner. Bella Davis was awarded the Jurors' Choice Award. Natalie Peppers was awarded the Elaine and Larry Sneath Award for thinking outside the box. Abby Young was awarded the Jurors' Choice Award. Jaden Weiser was awarded the Worldly Views Award for Best Photography. And Joe Beers was awarded the Quad City Arts Staff Award pick.
So when Mr. Schaefer talks about the senior scholarship winners, I need you to know that that's like each of them won at least $12,000 or more. So, which is really fortunate for our Quad City area just to have those scholarships. So Laurel Hines, which I'm sure you guys maybe remember that name because she's kind of a repeat customer a little bit. She's pretty talented. But she won one of the senior scholarships. They only give out 2 a year. So I got to let you know, I've been teaching high school. This is my 15th year at Central, and it was funny. I was talking and I only won, or one of my, I've only had 3 students win that. And this year, I had a 4th one. So it's just it's hard to do because this show is just amazing. And every year we go in and we say, hey, we got this. Yeah. And then we get there and we're like, oh man, it's all good. So it's just up in the bar every time. So this is Laurel Hines. This is her self-portrait.
Is she here?
She's not here,
Okay.
unfortunately. But yep, this is Laurel Hines. And then this was Carly Tomlinson. She won 2 awards, and this was her hideaway. This also came about with her AP concentration. And so just supporting her, we got her to UNI, you know what I mean? And I'm so beyond the moon with this girl. It's a fish tank, and her whole thing was like predator and prey, right? And so it's like a little bobcat, and she carved this cool foam kind of hideaway for this little bunny that she put in there in a fish tank. And it's awesome. It's really cool in real life. So yeah. So we'll move on to the Allstate. There you go. Allstate Awards. Allstate is a portfolio competition that awards the top high school artists and art programs in the state. 11th and 12th graders are really the ones that enter this competition. It's a portfolio for 10 digital images. And it is 10 strong images. It's, so for these students to come out and really kind of put their artwork out there is a hard thing for them to do. But I know us as art educators, we really push them to do this because we're Davenport schools and we do awesome. I'm a little bit biased though, right? So these portfolios are judged by college professors and working artists. The top 20% in each class are selected. So we are a 4A class. And they're honored, or they will be honored at the awards ceremony in the Des Moines Arts Festival on June 25th. These students will receive scholarship offers, a personalized plaque, a large poster, which is amazing. It's just really, really cool, like what they do for these students. The 3 top scoring schools were based off their top 5 individual portfolio scores, and they'll be awarded the prestigious title of an all-state art program. This was Abby Young, and her entitled I Was Thirsty. So Abby, if you would stand. I know that this is Dave's student, but I have seen her work multiple times, and so it's really wonderful. So good job, girl. This is Yesenia Tejas Chavez from Central. And Yesenia, is she still here? Yep. Stand up, girl. This is you. Okay. Puente Las Pilas is entitled this, and it was charcoal, right, Yessie? Yep. And she goes by Yessie, by the way. It's hard for me to say Yesenia because I know it's Yessie. So there you go. Oh my gosh, this is Destiny Dixon. This is entitled My Support System. Yep. As you can see, this style matches this beautiful girl, right? So cool. This is Amara Whitfield, Central High School. This is her self-portrait. Amara's not here, but I need you to know that Amara is just so smart and she will excel. And she's went through our school district and she's went through our art program, and it's just amazing to see her just go on and do awesome things. She's going to go into bio illustration. So she's a very talented artist. This is Tara Smith. This is entitled Tea Party. She's a watercolor artist. And she just is going on to, we got her going to college too. She's going to major in art. Her cousin has went up through, like her mom is an art teacher for our school district. So it just is an testament to what we do for our kids. So Central did place first at an all-state art program. Okay, so the 3 top scoring schools based on their top 5 individual portfolio scores are awarded the prestigious title of All-State Art Program. This is Central's 3rd year in a row that we've achieved that goal. So I think it's really awesome. Scholastic Art and Writing. This is a national program that we all encourage our students to do. Both we've had writing awards and we've had art awards. This year was tough. I'm not going to lie. This year was tough. So we have a silver key from the CAA Sudlow, and then we do have an honorable mention from Central, and we did have another honorable mention, and I forgot to put her on the slide, and it was Laurel Hines, so that was my bad. But Scholastic, they give out awards, and once it's juried, the gold keys will go on to like nationals, and then, oh my gosh, they get to go to Carnegie Hall, and they get these big, awesome medals, and it's really, really just a great program that's been around and just supported writers and artists for a really long time. Bram Basher Scholarship. So since 2000, the Bram Basher Scholarship has awarded $850,000 to graduating high school seniors. I talk about this scholarship with a lot of my art colleagues, and they just think it's so awesome, from different states even, and they think it's so awesome that our students have just a scholarship like this. So to be considered for one of the 4 prestigious $12,000 scholarships that is spread out throughout 4 years, students must submit a completed application, a high school transcript, 2 letters of support, and a portfolio of 12 works. And once again, it's 12 of your best, right? You're showing them what you can do. So these scholarships will be spread out over the 4 years for their college. They just have to major in an art supporting career. And they do recognize architecture and, things like that now, which is really, really awesome. So Laurel Hines, once again, she received the Lillian L. Brand Basher Scholarship. Tara Smith received the Lucille Brand Basher Scholarship. Destiny Dixon, there she is, received the William Brand Basher Scholarship. Yesenia Tejas Chavez received an honorable mention from Don Hagen. He was from West, I believe, right? Yeah, and he was just an awesome guy, and so he is supporting us even when he's not here, which is really cool. She received an honorable mention, and then Bella Davis from West High School also received a Don Hagen honorable mention. Emerging excellence events and awards. This is really geared towards like our middle school and students. The DCSC was the only district in the state of Iowa to host emerging excellence this year, and 15 of our students won awards. Emerging excellence celebrates the students' high achievement in art and promotes growth. So it's really like they're these students, these 7th and 8th grade kids, they present an artwork and they go up, they talk about it, they're critiqued over it, and they they're just working with professional artists, which is a really awesome opportunity for them to grow as artists.
And this was hosted at Sudlow, and our teachers there, Heidi Hernandez and Colleen McCarty Tomlinson, head this all up. And like it says there, it's the only one in Iowa that, we're the only ones that host. And not only do our students excel, but our teachers go above and beyond too, to make sure that our students have these opportunities. So thank you very much to Renee and Dave. Like I've only known them for 10 years. So, but, and could we have all those art students stand up once again that are here to be recognized? A lot of work goes into putting together those portfolios. Next, we have music. And we had, hopefully everybody here has had an opportunity to see earlier this year our show choirs perform. And once again, they perform at high levels. And you recognize a lot of the names we've already mentioned here tonight several times. They excel not only in the arts, but also in the classroom. So they go from classroom to concert stage to exhibit hall, and they are high achievers in all things. So Blue Vibes and Central Singers Incorporated had an excellent show choir season, as did North Side Establishment and Center Stage from North High School, and West Connection. West High School actually hosted their first competition at West Auditorium this year, the last Saturday in February. And it was a big success, and they look forward to having the West Side Showdown again next year. Back in February, we hosted at North High School the Intermediate and Elementary Instrumental Music Festival. And once again, if not for the support of the staff, the music staff at North High School and our teachers at the intermediate and elementary level doing the work to provide this opportunity, our students wouldn't be accomplished as they are. High School Music Association Solo and Ensemble Best in Room Awards. Just last week, we had students travel to Ames, Iowa State University to perform, as they had performed in state contest and been selected Best in Center. If I could have all these students stand if they're here. Jillian Darland, Noah Dressler, Jack Stremlow, Croy Baker, Gage McAllister, Ella Strader, Mia Rodan, Emily Wynn, Clea Phillips, Ryan Driscoll, Gage McAllister, Jack Stremlow, Croy Baker, and from West High School, Madeline Hagedorn, Nathan Hagedorn, Ian Keeney, and Camden Rich Gruber. So all these students. In competition and 4A with all the others in this area, once again, achieved at high level. First weekend in May has the large group competition, and once again, superior, excellent, and good performances by all of our ensembles at our Central, North, and West high schools. Jazz is also very well done in our school district. Central, all three jazz bands received superior ratings, and West Jazz Band also received a superior rating at state contest. In fact, Central qualified this year and advanced to the Iowa Jazz Championships for the second consecutive year. Our music students also receive college scholarships, and more coming in all the time as they audition for college. And Anna Dennis, Cameron Foley, Nathan Fornal, and Alex Owens all received music scholarships. If they're here, please stand. At this time, I would also like to recognize Mike Orfatelli. He's Iowa's 2022 Choral Advocate of the Year. And this award was actually advocated by our choral directors here in Davenport. And I'd like to read a statement from Laura Engels, who's one of the nominators. Is Mike here? Mike, congratulations. Here's what they said about Mike. The Iowa Choral Directors Association and their parent organization, the American Choral Directors Association, starting an honors initiative a few years ago to pay tribute to those who have assisted us in advancing the choral art form. Laura Engels, Director of Choral Activities, and Mike Orfatelli Both started at West in 2018, and he's been a huge advocate for their program. Lauren nominated Mr. Orfatelli because in all of her years of teaching, she has never had an administrator not only attend their musicals, but handwrite personal postcards to each student that was involved. As the program at West has grown, Mike has gone out of his way to ensure that the schedule works for all students involved. When the world shut down in 2020, Mr. Orfatelli was the administrator who oversaw the secondary vocal CTT and was pivotal in finding a spot for them on the Return to Learn planning committees. Mr. Orfatelli constantly goes above and beyond for the vocal music program, the fine arts program at West, and is one of their biggest cheerleaders. He is instrumental to their success, shows interest in their students, and supports the teachers. We as a district are grateful and beyond lucky to have such an engaging, supportive administrator. And on behalf of Michael Reese, Ryan Reverts, Emily Schronk, Reed Keller, John Whitson, Nick Anderson, and Laura Engels, we are thrilled to honor Mike Orfatelli. Mr. Orfatelli will receive his award from the Iowa Choral Directors Association at their annual conference in July. Please give Mr. Orfatelli a big round of applause. And this concludes our fine arts presentation. Thank you for your patience. If we could have all those students that were named come on up to the front and get a picture with our school board. All right, we will move on to the youth leadership team's recognition. I'll turn it over to the superintendent.
One of the major initiatives in our district is to ensure that our students have an equity of voice at the table when they're planning for their school, when they're deciding which direction, what initiatives to do. And so tonight, I heard the rumor mill about this awesome youth leadership team out at Bluegrass and some of the wonderful work that they did. So we talked to Mrs. Gott and asked their team to come and present to us. And Mr. Driscoll has been bragging about this team for quite a while. And so, first of all, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for patiently sitting through all of those wonderful celebrations. And so now it's our turn to hear about the wonderful things that are going on at Bluegrass. So I don't know Mrs. Gott, who do I turn this over here to? Should I turn it over to you? All right. Okay. Bluegrass Youth Leadership Team, the stage is yours. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing us to present this evening, as we have a lot to celebrate with you as a youth leadership team at Bluegrass Elementary School. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment and thank you for highlighting the importance of student leadership and student voice in the success of our school. We want to give a special shout out to Superintendent Schneckloff for his support, along with Instructional Leadership Director Mr. Driscoll for being a huge support to our school. Ms. Scott, our building principal, is our youth leadership team facilitator, along with support from our teacher innovator Ms. Kepi and counselor Ms. Moore. We have met almost weekly at our school since May of 2022 and feel like a huge part of our school's development and growth. We are here to share what we have focused on this year. We also want to give a special thank you to Miss Lisa Baxter and Miss Cami Montoya for giving us this opportunity and providing us with oversight throughout the year.
We have 15 sixth grade leaders at Bluegrass, and 10 of us are here this evening. We meet during recess time in our school conference room and have met every one of our goals we set at the beginning of the year. I am going to summarize our 5 big goals for the year we created and achieved throughout the year. The rest of our team will give you more detail about how we achieved these goals. First, we wanted to enhance our school safety by providing student leadership during recess for time at our school. Second, we wanted to model correct procedure for our school-wide systems by putting together to show our students the right ways of playing games at recess to walking in the hallway with a safe manner. Next, we wanted to be a part of our success by leading the Conditions for Learning survey at our school. We wanted to actively be a part of the facilitating of the survey. Fourth, we wanted to communicate with the families and communicate what we were working on throughout the school year. Lastly, we wanted to go visit another school in the district and learn ways why we can enhance our school through other school success. At the beginning of the school year, we received training on the expectations of the youth leadership team. The district's commitment to our schools is that all students feel safe, engaged, and connected in the Davenport schools. They also give us the following commitments as a youth leadership team. The district is committed to physically and emotional safety for all students. Through the CRVP of PBIS professional development, all staff are striving to achieve this goal. Student voice is an important layer to ensure all adults know what students need to feel safe at school.
The Conditions for Learning survey is the data we have used to make decisions as a student leadership team. We used the data from last school year, and there was a lot to celebrate at our school. The survey is broken down into 5 areas, and we were really excited that the student-to-student relationship was our top area, with 91% of our students feeling they have positive student-to-student relationships at our school. We also were very happy with growing 11% with the area of adult-to-student relationships, with 90% of our students feeling they have positive adults in the building. We determined after being taught about the survey that emotional safety was an important area for us to focus on this year. We also met with each classroom before they took the survey this year and went over the importance of the survey and shared ways we have used the survey to support our school's growth and success. However, last year when we got our results, here were the next steps we determined as a team we wanted to see this year. We wanted the youth leadership team to present at PTA meetings. We wanted to take more time from our monthly assemblies to recognize positive behaviors that might go unnoticed at recess by recognizing difference makers. We wanted to reinforce our Wildcat Way procedures with videos modeling. Our Gaga pit can be an issue, so assessing 1 recess leaders to that area a day would help. We wanted our student leadership group to assist with the Conditions for Learning survey. We wanted staff to be encouraged more to spread out at recess, not to congregate with other staff.
From our Conditions for Learning results and the 5 wise activities that the district had us do, one area we focused on is each day we have 3 youth leadership team members go outside for recess time. They wear patrol vests and act as a leader, a referee, a friend, a helper, and someone that enhances our safety at school. We tell students that if they did not feel good to go see a recess leader. We tell students if they have no one to play with to go get a recess leader. Most importantly, we as recess leaders proactively get to know the students and try to make each student feel included and supported. We had motivational speaker Joe Beckman come to our school last year. He taught us that to be a difference maker, all you have to do is try to make one person's day. Our goal as recess leaders is to be a difference maker each day.
From the 5 Whys activity and our feedback using the conditions for learning survey results, we knew that we needed to spend more time teaching the games out at recess. We worked with our amazing technology innovator, Mr. Pepper, who helped us make the videos to show our students how to play out at recess. You could access all the rule videos on the link on the slide. We would like to show you a couple of example of our videos. Here's an example of the Gaga Pit.
Rosemary said, let's go! Remember the days of the old schoolyard? We used to laugh a lot. Oh, don't you remember the days of the old schoolyard?
Welcome to Gaga Ball. Equipment needed: soft rubber ball like a kickball and a Gaga pit. Rules: one hand or 1 foot has to be touching the wall at the start of every game. Everyone says Gaga go to start the game to get off the wall. Gaga, go! Ball can only be hit with your hand. If you are hit with the ball in your knee or below, you are out. Play continues if you are hit above the knees. If you hit a ball into the air and it is caught, you are out. If a ball goes out of the court, whoever touched it last is out. Listen to the adult or recess leader, and if the majority of the players say you're out, then you're out. King of the court. You are out until the round is over. Continuous. You are out until someone else gets out, and then you can get back in, and you have 5 seconds to get back into the court before you can be tagged out again. Things not to do. Don't keep going for the same person over and over again. Don't kick the Gaga ball. No sitting on the wall. No holding the ball. And the most important rule, have fun.
We want to give a special thank you to Mr. Pepper for all his help doing these videos with us.
Last year, the district gave each youth leadership team funds to enhance their work at the school. Our leadership team determined that we were having issues at indoor recess time in our building because there wasn't enough games for students to play or consistent expectations in our indoor recess classrooms. Therefore, our team created and taught common procedures and expectations in our indoor recess areas, and then we let students vote on games we could use to purchase for their classrooms. We wanted the students to pick games that would encourage students to work together and collaborate with each other. We were really excited about ordering these games, and it made us feel good as a leadership team to see students more excited about bad weather and getting to stay in and have fun things to do together in their classrooms. We want to thank the district for the funds for our team and encourage you to continue supporting our teams financially so we can continue to use student voice and data to make enhancements to our school community.
We are the Bluegrass Wildcats. Wonder the Wildcat is our mascot, and the Wildcat Way is our school-wide rules, procedures, and expectations. Our 3 school-wide rules are: we are respectful, we are responsible, and we are safe. All of our Wildcat Way procedures are focused around our 3 rules. Mr. Pepper has helped us put together Wildcat Way videos to model our procedures. He just completed these videos and look forward to showing them next year. You are the first to see our videos for the first day of school.
Here is one video example of the school bus procedures.
This is the Wildcat Way.
Good morning, class. Come on in.
The Wildcat Way bus procedures. We are respectful. Sit in the assigned seat. Keep hands, feet, and belongings to self. Use appropriate voice level 0, level 1, or level 2. Be kind to others. We are responsible by being on time for the bus, keep bus clean, and take ownership of your belongings. We are safe by face forward with our back against the seat, Listen to the bus driver, keep aisles clear, and stay seated at all times until exiting the bus.
Guys, have a good day. Do good in school. See you later. Thank you guys for being so good on the bus. Yes.
We also have our Wildcat Way procedures posted in every classroom, and teachers and staff review procedures often for our students. We again want to thank Mr. Pepper for all of his help getting these videos done for us. A next step for us this year is we wanted to communicate with our parents on what we are working on as a leadership team. Each month at our PTA meetings, we all took turns to go and update our parents on what we have been working on as a leadership team. We really appreciate our parents and how involved they are at school, and they have been very supportive of our leadership team at Bluegrass. We are also really proud of our monthly PBIS assemblies. We are able to celebrate models of our Wildcat Way procedures, academic achievements, bring people from our community in to meet and learn from. And the most exciting part of our Wildcat Bash assemblies is our connection with the West High School. They go above and beyond to bring in models for our school, community, and of student leaders at the high school. Our assemblies are the last Friday of every month, and we love looking up to and hearing from student leaders at West High School. This is always special for us. This year alone, we have had the West High football team, basketball team, show choir, marching band, cheerleaders, dance team, robotics club, group that went to Kenya, and so many more. We want to thank Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Lewis, and Mr. Orfatelli for all their support building the feeder system and help in supporting our youth leadership team, as we are always looking for models for our students to learn from.
Speaking of our awesome relationship with West, they allowed us to come get a full tour filled with demonstrations, student leaders, and they had the opportunity to see what a day in the life of a West Falcon is like. We absolutely love it and want to thank Mr. Orfatelli for giving us this opportunity. We got to see the automotive class, engineering class, robotics class, and some of their robots. The music department and saw their choir singing the business department and got to hear from many students in their AP class. We got to see the cafeteria, library, and meet a variety of students and staff.
We were so impressed with the school and reflected together that we wish more students could have had this opportunity. We thought that maybe a video could be put together so even our elementary students could see some of the awesome things we got to see on our trip. This made us excited for high school, and the advice we received about getting involved and trying things we wouldn't normally try was something that stuck out to a lot of us. It was impressive to see high school students excited about their futures and knowing where they are going after high school. Many of us have parents that went to West and are looking forward to going to West once we get to high school. This is a big opportunity for us, and we thank West for allowing us to see what a day in the life of a high school student is like.
We have had a great year. We achieved all of the 5 goals we set up at the beginning of the year. 7 of us will be heading to junior high next year and will continue our leadership there. 8 of us will continue on this leadership team next year and look forward to continuing our work. Student voice and leadership is very important to our school. We appreciate that the district makes it a priority as well. We are proud to be the Bluegrass Wildcats and are lucky to be a part of a school that the students and staff generally care about each other and are a family. Do you have any questions for us?
Wow, you guys did a really great job. Phenomenal. And just so you know, you are YouTube famous because this meeting is live streamed on YouTube. So you can go back later on our YouTube page and watch yourselves. You all did a phenomenal job. Your parents should be so proud. You all did a great job. Do any board members have any questions? I think you wowed everybody. We don't know what to say. If you all would please come up to the front, we'd love to take a photo with you. And thank you all again so much. It's a very tough act to follow for everybody else who has to do anything. I just want you all to know. Up next, our next item is Donna Holman named Manager of the Year by the School Nutrition Association. I will turn it over to Superintendent Schneckloff.
We have what an absolute honor to see all of our wonderful students being displayed, but not only our employees. So Miss Connie Dobbles, if you wouldn't mind coming on up here and describing this award to us and also our wonderful employee. Thank you.
Thank you for having us here tonight. One word that comes to mind when I think of Donna Holman from West High School as the manager is passion. She has a passion to make sure that the kids are fed each and every day with a variety of food that is fresh and healthy for them. I didn't prepare a speech, so I'm going to turn it over and have Donna say a few words.
Thanks, Connie. Hello. I wanted to say thank you to you guys for the invitation to come up and be recognized for this award. Without the support of the FNS team, my management team, my staff at West High School, who are amazing, I would not have won this prestigious award, which I am just thrilled with. Had no idea I had even been nominated for it, let alone winning it. So I just want to thank everybody, the board, the district, for giving me the opportunity to work for the district, my family, my coworkers, and especially my staff at West High School. Thank you very much.
There's a photo.
Oh, photo.
I just want to say, not only do we have awesome students, we have great staff as well, so thank you again. Our next recognition is May is School Board Recognition Month, and I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent.
I always loved being able to stand up here. First of all, nothing happens without the school board voting on it moving forward. Like President Goza said, May is School Board Recognition Month, and the people that sit at this table are incredible human beings. The commitment to the community is unwavering. To our staff and to our students is obvious. This group of human beings has to be available 24/7. And once you get elected, it's very apparent. Your phone number goes up, your email is live, and everyone feeds to you. And every single person on this school board takes that very serious. The communication that flows from the community to our administration is invaluable. And that's very apparent. I think about the journey that our school board has been on, and I'm incredibly proud of the people on this school board. Where we were 4 years ago to where we are now, this school board has recommitted to the Iowa Association of School Boards, better boardsmanship, and because of that, this board has won the Better Boardsmanship Awards at the state level 2 years in a row. And right now, I believe we have several of our board members that already have the points earned for next year. And if I'm not mistaken, I think President Goza may be leading the state in points, being asked to commit to presenting in sessions. And that's incredibly important to us to be able to stabilize that. When I look back at this school year with Vice President Hayes and Vice President Karen Klein-Jerome, look at the class that took place this year in the way we run our school board. And so that starts with our leadership in this district. And it is cascading all throughout our district. And it's because of you guys. Dr. Beck, your work that you started on the policy committee that has been turned over is invaluable. It's legacy work. We talk about that all the time. It's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of cleaning up policies. And you did that tirelessly. And it's something that has needed to happen, and you took that on, and Brenda is just loving every second of putting the bow on that. And so thank you for that work, very valuable work. Director Postian, his work that he is doing on the finance committee, his passion that he puts into our students and our staff is unmatched. He goes to everything. If you look at some of the things, we see him sitting in the back, he just wants to hear, he wants to learn to make better informed decisions, and then we pass that information along to the board. So his passion in that area. The financial commitment that he has to ensuring that our district is never going to go back is unwavering and very valuable. Director Hayes, Vice President Hayes, your longevity on this school board is invaluable. The connection that you have to the community is incredible. Your calming presence. You are the ice to Dan's fire, and it works. There's many times where I get a hey, settle down underneath the table with a foot. So hey, just calm down. And that's what you do. And you have an incredible pulse on the community, and it's unmatched. And we thank you for that. Director Gordon is a new member to our school board and an incredible advocate. When in searching for the word, she is an advocate for the underrepresented. And if you think about that, it's from students and staff, and that's exactly what she does. And it's very valuable for us to have at our board table. Director Potts, the humor, he always makes sure that we close our meetings out. But his historical knowledge about this district and the passion that he has put in for so many years, I'm not sure, he has helped us miss some potholes and make sure we're going down the right direction. And he's just level-headed, and he's 100% a DCSD advocate. Vice President Klein-Jerome, the word that comes to mind for you is just engaged. I've never seen anybody more engaged. You're at every play. You volunteer in the food pantry downstairs. If I put together a 35-page report, she reads every word of it. And it's so valuable. It is incredibly valuable. She is, as a retired educator, 100% committed to our students and our staff, and you're engaged all the time. President Goza, our snowplow. That was the word that came to my mind for you. You get out front, you do the heavy lifting, you push the worries to a side, hold people accountable. You have been since you got on the board. You represent our community. You are a voice for our community. You're involved in just about everything. As a matter of fact, we're downstairs with a scholarship. He had an earbud in because he was on a board meeting before that and probably going to a board meeting after this one. So from the bottom of our heart and our community's heart, we want to thank you. At your table, there is a mission coin for each and every one of you. And you know how important those are to me. And you help grow our mission and our students every single day. And so together, this school board is moving forward. And we're moving forward so much faster because of the commitment that you have displayed. And I stand here representing the Davenport Community School District community to say thank you to you. I apologize for not being able to do this on the 5th, and I promise I will make up for the smash burgers. We're going to do that in June, and you guys will be invited, yes? Okay. So thank you. If you would help me give our school board a round of applause. Now, as a part of our community, our student school board members. Wow. We've been doing this for a long time, and we have never had student school board members be this engaged. Honestly, volunteering some of the projects that we've put together, give feedback that helped us govern the district. It's always a risk for school boards to ask students their opinion or advocate on a specific thing. But this group of student school board members have done a wonderful job understanding the difference between management and governance. And they've done a wonderful job of that. I have certificates over here I'll give to you afterwards. And so we thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. We know this is your last meeting, and we can't thank you enough. You're incredibly important to us. When we see you out in the community, we're very proud, and we know you're on to big and bold things. And I look at some of the scholarships that our students have won is very impressive. And so that's just one indication of the bright future that's ahead of us and ahead of you. And we're incredibly proud of each and every one of you. So thank you so much for dedicating the time, helping us govern this district. And you've done an outstanding job. Please help me recognize our student school board members. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Schneckloff. Student board members, after you do your student board reports, if you do need to leave, I realize it is a school night. Feel free to come over and get your certificates. I do want to note for the record that Director Gordon did drop off. She is attending something for her son at school, which everybody plans everything on Monday nights because they don't realize that we have school board meetings, I guess. We will move on to presentations, which I see there are none, and now we'll move on to student board reports. Make it a really good one. It's the last one.
Yeah, last one, best one. So for boys track and girls track, we had our state this weekend, and we wanted to give congratulations to Maddox Sullivan, Ty Harpson, Pete Linehan, and Owen Christie for finishing 21st in the 4x800. And then JQ Lewis, Darius Harris, Ty Harmston, and Maddox Sullivan for placing 17th in the distance medley relay, and Cadence McDowell for placing 16th in the shot put at the state meet. And then we wanted to congratulate the entire team on a great season. For girls track, they closed out the season with a terrific showing at the state meet. Finishing 24th was the 4x100 relay team of Sanasia Brock, Kalia Knox, Asia Pegas Jarrett, and Nazada Block. And finishing 21st was the 4x800 relay team of Dylan Moeller, Hannah Ford, Maren Crowder, and Alexis Bruce, who ran the 11th best time in school history. So that's really cool. And finishing 20th was the 800 medley relay team of Jania Lewis, Asia Pegas Garrett, Nazada Block, and Ariel Johnson. And finishing 18th was the 1600 medley relay team of Asia Pegas Jarrett, Sanasia Brock, Ariel Johnson, and Dylan Moeller, who ran the 11th best time in school history. And finishing 16th in the 1500 was Dylan Moeller, who became the second fastest runner in school history. And finishing 12th in the 800 was Ariel Johnson, who became the fourth fastest runner in school history. So congratulations to them on a successful season. Boys baseball also has started their season. Davenport Central varsity baseball team swept Maquoketa on Friday night by scores of 9-6 and 12-5. Juniors Ty Harmson and Wyatt Hillier combined pitching performances in Game 1 to keep the visitors' offense in check, and Milo Kelly, Jake Jancy, and Declan Swanson all had extra base hits and for the Game 1 win. In Game 2, sophomore Ben Cox notched his first win on the mound with a solid relief performance by junior Chase Klein, and the Blue Devils were led on offense by University of Missouri commit Milo Kelly, who belted 3 home runs in Game 2, and senior Brady Lorber, who also had an extra base hit in Game 2. The Blue Devils are back in action tomorrow night when they play JV varsity doubleheader at Ankeny starting at 4 p.m. And last week, boys soccer defeated Clinton in the first round of playoffs with 4 of those goals by Joseph Miniter, which that was his second game back from his injury, which is super cool. And they will play Cedar Rapids Kennedy tonight, so good luck to them. And then finally, our mentors in violence prevention had their last meeting today and had a lesson on self-care for the summer in the classrooms. And along with that, they also opened their applications to become a mentor next year. So yeah, thank you.
Howdy. So first we'd like to thank the Davenport Schools Scholarship Foundation for all the scholarships they awarded to North recipients. It was a big year for North, and so we're very excited to have received that money for our students. Last Friday, we had our senior picnic at North, and it was a lot of fun. The administrators and teachers who put in the work to get the activities and food, we'd like to thank them. Yeah, and all the games. It was just fun. And then our orchestra seniors just visited Harrison today to perform for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders to assist with recruitment. Participation in our feeder schools is back up again from COVID, and the performances seem to help get the little ones interested in playing. It was also a lot of fun for our seniors to get to perform pop music, which they don't normally get to play. Tomorrow, our choral director will be hosting an informational meeting for all students accepted in North's show choir for the next year at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria. After that, we'll be hosting our annual Vocal Music Awards night in our auditorium, giving awards to students who showed their musical excellence this year. And then tonight, our boys soccer team is playing against Iowa City West, and they're hoping to make it to state this year, so wish them luck.
Also on the north side here, last week, 50 of our French students from North, Central, and West all took a trip to Chicago. We visited the French market, where we had a lot of very good food. It was my first time going. It was very good. We'll go again. And we also got to view works from the Impressionist movement at l'Institut d'Art in Chicago. It was a wonderful educational experience for all students and a great note to end the year on. And I believe there's already talk of like making this a yearly thing. We're very excited about it, and it was just a great way to end the year. Also, later this week on Wednesday, North Auditorium will host our senior awards night at 7, recognizing some students who have received scholarships and earned various academic honors. So you're welcome to attend that. 6:30, not 7. And aside from that, I think I'd just like to, on behalf of the North. Yeah. On behalf of National Honor Society. Oh, did we not say that? Okay, so also,
Sorry.
Last one, guys. Here we go. I got this. This past week, National Honor Society completed our spring service project. On Tuesday, we visited Fillmore to host a field day for the special education students, which turned out to be a huge hit. The feedback from Fillmore administrators and teachers was overwhelmingly positive, and the students were happy to host and had a lot of fun. It was a blast, and we even had a few students going around the grounds picking up trash. I mean, like, we were doing a whole bunch of stuff there, and there were so many smiles and laughs. It was awesome. Now, with that, I'd just like to say on behalf of kind of all of us, thank you. This was awesome, a great experience. And to any students who might be listening, yeah, do it. Go for it. This is a great opportunity.
Oh gosh. All right. So we had a pretty busy week last week at West. On Monday, we had our senior awards night. Landon basically explained the gist of it. Same thing over at West. Scholarships were recognized, academic achievement, seals of biliteracy, among some other things. And then on Wednesday, we had our senior picnic, which among the very good food had a bounce house. So see if you can one-up us on that. And then on Thursday, our Spanish club had its Chicago trip where they went down. I didn't go myself, but I know that they had some great food. And they also went to go see the Bean down at, I forgot the park name. So pretty busy week last week. And then just some of the other things I've got here. The art department would like to congratulate Bella Davis on being selected for the Figgy, not trying to pronounce that, scholarship runner-up. Thursday will be an awards presentation that includes a slideshow of each winner's work. So if you see Bella, tell her congratulations. You should come down to West. Let's see. A lot of this actually got touched on, so I won't spend too much time on it. We had Madeline Hagedorn, Nathan Hagedorn, Ian Kenny, and Candor Rich Gruber, who traveled to Ames on May 16th. That was touched on earlier. We have some ST Math celebrations with some. Can I read this? It's very small. You know what? These guys have waited long enough. I'm not gonna try to read that. It's very, very small. Buffalo, 6th grade, Dubuque, took a trip to the Dubuque River Museum. Let's see. Where Jamie Kittman was given a shout out for being overprepared and planned for the trip, and was a huge asset in making the trip happen. So give a shout out to her. I then wanted to, and this is very personal to me because she's a good friend of mine, a big shout out to Ariana Dolph for being one of 7 high school seniors in the entire state of Iowa to receive the recognition of a National Cyber Scholar. This was through, I believe, CyberStart, a essentially train young people in cybersecurity. So this hits very close home to me. So big shout out to her. Monroe hosted a talent show a couple days ago, and there's a very nice video that was posted, and I was told specifically to look at 38 minutes, 28 seconds in. And if any of you would like to take a look, I know you probably won't remember this, so you can look back at the video. It's tiny.cc/MonroeTS. Take a look at that. And what else can I say but thank you guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Big thank you to Mr. Driscoll for providing, I know I said this last time, but seriously, once again, thank you to him for the information he provided me. Thank you to these amazing colleagues that I've had over these past few months. And thank you to my amazing parents who are sitting right now in the office. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So signing off one last time.
Nice shout out. Student board members, as always, we greatly appreciate your input at board meetings and your reports on the things that are going on, as well as your feeder schools. We will miss you all. As Superintendent Schneckloff said, you all have been very engaging, and we greatly appreciate that. So if you all would please come up here, we'll get you your certificates and then take a photo with the board. Superintendent Schneckloff has one more thing he would like to say.
As our student school board members exit, we had mentioned earlier that there's lots of scholarships sitting at the table. One scholarship that went by without mentioning tonight is our Dooley Scholarship. And Miss Olivia was a Dooley Scholarship winner, first time in Davenport North's history, I believe. No, but his most recent, thank you. Most recently, the award has gone to Central, but you brought it to North this year. And I know your parents are incredibly proud, and we're incredibly proud for you, as it's a scholarship is a scholarship dedicated to somebody entering into the medical field. So incredibly proud of you for that.
You guys don't even want to stay for the whole meeting? We still got like 3 hours left.
It's not my choice.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
all
miss you
again.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I started on this podium.
Board reports. Is there any board reports? Director Hayes.
I would like to publicly congratulate Jabari Woods. Jabari gave the address Saturday to the 2023 graduating class at St. Ambrose University, and he was also awarded his honorary doctorate. So congratulations to Jabari. And the board would also like to extend our condolence to the Poston family. Kent lost his mother, that's why he's not here tonight.
Thank you. Director Klein Jerome.
I had the honor and privilege to attend the retirement recognition and the recognition for 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 years of service. It's awesome to see employees so committed to the district. I also attended the Martin Luther King groundbreaking ceremony on Brady Street, and it was well attended. It's exciting to see what's going to happen to that space. I also went to Buchanan Elementary's closing ceremonies, and that also was well attended, and it was fun to go through there. I went to Buchanan in some year, and actually when the school first opened, so it was nostalgic to go through the building. And finally, I attended Wood Junior High's musical Beauty and the Beast last week. So we're doing a lot of great things for kids.
Thank you. Director Beck.
I was going to say the same thing about the Buchanan closing festival, really. It was incredible to see how many people turned out for that from the community, and also just to get such an incredible sense of the history. Spent some time looking in some of those old class pictures for you. And just to thank the faculty, staff, and Miss Ivory at Buchanan for putting that together, and for the time they've spent at Buchanan. But it was a really excellent event. It was really well attended, and just seemed like the kids were having a blast. So.
Thank you. I attended the recognitions as well. I had to leave a little early for the retirement because my daughter had a drama banquet, which again, we don't realize that board members have meetings on Mondays for some crazy reason. And we have kids and stuff too. But I do want to thank all of the employees, whether it was 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40, I think we even had a 50-year, just for the tremendous dedication to the district, and not only to the district, but the students of the district, because, and I said this to a lot of them as we were talking, but sometimes that's the only interaction with an adult some kids have. That's the only positive interaction and things like that. So you never know how much just the little things matter to the kids and get them. And that's for, you know, all of our employees, whether you're custodial, secretarial, everyone has a hand in those kids, and it's one huge thing, working to the betterment of producing great students. I was able to attend the scholarships downstairs earlier. I think Director Hayes was there too. I know Superintendent Schneckloff was there, and then we hurried up and skated over to the visitation for Director Pasha's mom, and then we made it back here just in time to kick the meeting off. So, and again, just tonight alone, all the phenomenal students that we have coming through here and all of the amazing things and accomplishments our kids have is a true testament to our district. And I want to thank all of my board members. I think you all do a great job. You're great to work with, especially for this being Board Recognition Month. I get a lot of credit for being the board president, but it's not without a team. So I greatly appreciate all of you, and I think we're a well-oiled machine. So with that, I'll move on to communications. And Brenda, I believe we don't have any open forum, so I don't have to read that whole thing. Be perfect. Move on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Mr. President,
Director Hayes.
I move the board accept the consent agenda as written.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Director Klein Jerome. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Superintendent report. All right, before we go to committee reports, I'm going to take a 5-minute break because it's been a pretty long meeting, and I know the finance report's going to be a little long. That's what you tell me now, 10 minutes later. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We will move on to committee reports. Is there a report for the Data Wall Ad Hoc Committee?
None at this time.
Nothing for legislative advocacy. Anything for LZAC? Okay, none at this time. Have not had a long-range facilities planning meeting yet. Policy Committee?
We met and we finished up, I think, all the old policies. There's a few new ones coming in from legislation. So we are seeing the end in sight. And you skip finance. Finance?
I know, because you got a presentation.
Yeah, but I got something I'm gonna report. Hey, back off.
Finance Committee, Director Conjure.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to say that when I was at the Finance Committee meeting, the HR department has purchased software for electronic onboarding that is way cool. And it lists all the things. So if you're a new employee, it lists all the things you need to take care of, signing up for insurance and W-2s and mandatory child abuse training. And I mean, it's a whole checklist of things. So the employee can go in and follow along what they need to do, and then HR can follow it and see what has been accomplished so far. It also tracks whether you've signed your contract, so that was not necessarily for new employees, but all employees that get a contract, and that also can be tracked and followed. This should make life much easier than paper copies of everything, so that's a very cool part of it all. Yep, and then I'm going to turn it over to Kevin to go over the financial reports.
Okay, so for the finance report, starting with the monthly fund report, Brenda, please. It's kind of an interesting month being 10 months in. There's not a lot to highlight on the revenues because they're pretty consistent, but I did take a little deeper dive into the federal revenue from FY22 to FY23. Interesting enough, we had $10 million in all federal revenue in FY22 and $10.8 million in FY23. That's just an anomaly, but they're very close as of to this time period. But when you go down to the expenditures, I highlighted all those because there's a lot of ESSER things going on here, but there's also a lot of other federal expenditures going on. To date in FY22 and all those expenditures, last FY22 we had $15.4 million of expenditures. In FY23 we had $20 million of expenditures. So we're in arrears by about $9.2 million in federal revenue that's due. A lot of that will correct itself during the month of May right now, as the state pays us our third quarter allotment in ESSER funds, in title funds, and some other miscellaneous title and federal grants. What I thought was interesting, and I wanted to pick on the property line. We don't talk a lot about that, but you'll see that we went from 447,000, which is kind of a low year in itself, but we went from 447 to $1.3 million. And some of the things that we're doing with our ESSER funds will be interesting as we close ESSER 2 in the next 2 months, and the things we're doing with ESSER 3, and this is just in the general fund. Some of the things that are causing that 1.3 million to balloon so high is, and a lot of this stuff you've approved, but this is where this shows up. If you remember the music lab that we purchased, we bought those PE monitors during the year. We bought a whole bunch of robotics equipment. There's some more Chromebooks. There's the gaming computer labs that we have had. We also purchased the business labs. Part of that came out of ESSER. Also part of it came out of other local grants, but it all falls into that property line on the expense side. And also we had just shy of $100,000 worth of vehicles that we purchased this year that were not purchased last year. That makes up the vast majority of that difference. But I just find it's interesting how when we get to the tail end of ESSER 2, how that's changing so much. We'll probably have a bigger report when we get to the end of the year for ESSER 2, and we'll do the same thing for ESSER 3 next year. The last 2 months I've been saying that our surplus and deficit was in the red. We received our property tax payment the second half during the month of April, and you'll see that those are corrected. That's why I have those highlighted for FY22 to $9 million positive, and positive in the management fund, and also on the next page it was positive in the Pebble fund. Any questions on where we're at year to date? Going over to the key measures report. There's not a lot different when it comes to our UAB. We had estimated a 10.5% UAB last month. That's holding true this month. I believe that's going to be a little bit higher again by the end of the year, mainly due to our vacancies. And you'll see on the second set of numbers that we're sitting at 91.6% of our total authority. We'd love that to be much closer to 100%, but some of our vacancies, as the year goes on, that number tends to keep declining. Our goal next year is to try to get to 100% and get all of our vacancies filled. And our solvency follows along on that last bullet, is where it's growing to 26%. We'd love for that to be a little bit lower than that, but I don't mind having a larger solvency at this point. But that's also due to the lack of spending. And on the second page, I highlighted the variance. I'm a little bit concerned about the other category because we're going to have a lot of dollars spent in the next month and a half, next month, on some things, but our year's holding strong, and we're out of time to be able to do an amendment anyway, since it's due by the end of the month. So we don't have time to do that. But so not a lot different on our key measures, but they're holding strong where they're at. Any questions on that one?
Director Hayes.
Kevin, you said the solvency was due to the lack of what?
Due to the lack of having all of our staffing filled, mainly. But that's working on getting all of our staff filled for next year, aren't we? As much as possible. We'd love for that to be to 100%.
Was that it, Director Hayes? Any other questions? All right, thank you, Kevin. We will move on to items requiring action. May I have a motion on subject 11.01, a la carte beverages contract?
Mr. President, I move the board approve the Food and Nutrition Services a la carte beverage contract with Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company in the amount of $56,973.50.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? I just have a quick question. Are they going to switch out all of the Pepsi stuff? Because I'm assuming Pepsi owns all of the Pepsi stuff. Probably got to do it.
Pepsi is actually our current provider. They won the bid a few years ago, so they switched all that out a few years ago.
Thank you. I just know if you utilize one, you definitely can't have the other one. They get very upset. Could you repeat that with?
Pepsi is our current provider, so we don't have to switch out anything. So Atlanta Bottling is Pepsi, right? Am I right?
It says
I'm
Coca-Cola.
sorry. I'm sorry. We're with Coke right now. Sorry. Coke is our current bottler, and they will continue. So that switched a few years ago. That's nothing new. My apologies.
All right, thank you for that. Any other? All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. We'll move on to subject 11.02, commercial pizza contract. May I have a motion?
Mr. President, I
Director
move the
Klein
board
Jordan.
approve the Food and Nutrition Services commercial pizza contract with Papa John's for service on Tuesdays in high schools and Wednesdays in junior highs, and Little Caesars for service in high schools on Thursdays in the amount of $162,610.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on that? Director Beck.
Is there, oh, I see, it's just for more variety to use 2 vendors?
That is correct. At the last board meeting that I came to, the students had a conversation with me afterwards that they were tired of Papa John's every day that they get offered pizza. So we included it in the contract this year to include a more variety and hopefully increase participation.
Awesome. Okay.
Perfect. Hopefully it's their thicker pizza and not the cardboard. But is there any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. All right. Subject 11.03, milk, plain and flavored contract.
Mr. President, I
Director
move the
Klein
board approve the Food and Nutrition Services milk contract with Prairie Farms in the amount of $775,832.50.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Subject 11.04, fresh fruit and vegetable program grant. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
hey, we've got to get this moving. I move the board approve the Food and Nutrition Services Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant Program contract with Lafredo in the amount of less than $250,000 per grant funding.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Director Hayes. Is there any discussion?
Can you explain the less than $250,000 per grant funding, like the wording there?
It's because the amount that we get for the grant is $250,000, so we use that towards fruits and vegetables itself.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Subject 11.05, prime vendor food and non-food supplies. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
the board approved the Food and Nutrition Services food and non-food expendable supplies storage technological support and distribution services contract with performance in the amount of $1,555,596.48.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Director Beck. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Subject 11.06, bread contract. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
I move the board approve the Food and Nutrition Service food contract for 1 year for commercial sandwich bread buns with Pano Gold in the amount of $106,592.68.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Director Beck. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. One more, and then you'll finally be able to sit down. Subject 11.07, school breakfast and lunch prices for the 2023-2024 school year. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Beck.
I move the board approve the F&S meal prices for the 2023-24 school year as presented.
Mr. President,
Mr. President, I move the board approve the F&S meal prices for the 2023-24 school year as presented. 2023-24 school year as presented.
I move the board approve the F&S meal prices for the 2023-24 school year as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. That was a lot of items there pertaining to food service, so thank you for that. All
And
right.
thank you for the cookies.
The next subject is 11.08 automated external defibrillators, AED replacements. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
I move that, I gotta find this. We replace, I move that we purchase 40 automated external defibrillators, AED units, and first responder kits with AED authority for $92,400.40.
Second.
I must have an old sheet. All right, the motion's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. May I have a motion on 11.09 frontline education renewal?
Mr. President,
Director Beck.
I move the board approve a 3-year contract with Frontline for budget management, analytics, and financial planning in the amounts of $27,823.84, $29,354.15, and $30,968.63 for fiscal year 24, 25, and 26, respectively.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Subject 11.10 West High School Gym Wrestling Weight Room Project. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
I move the board approve the lowest responsive bid of Bill Bruce Builders in the amount of $9,182,700.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? I have a question on this one. This bid was quite a bit lower than the other two, and the other two were pretty comparable to each other. So what did this bid leave off that the other two had on? And the reason I ask that is because they always lowball it when it's a school district, because then they're going to hit us with change orders. But it's just, it was a huge number, and for the other two to be pretty close.
As far as we're aware, nothing. We've done some follow up with them as well as the architect, and they haven't informed us of anything we know they're missing, or nor have they told us they've skipped anything in this project. I know there was another potential bidder that was going to submit the bid a little bit late, and we're near this dollar amount as well. But they were just a little bit higher. But as far as we can tell, or as far as we're informed of, nothing's been missed or skipped.
Okay. So side by side, they're apples to apples.
Yes.
One might be charging more for hourly rate or something, I'm assuming.
Could very well be, or just a little bit more. One person might just have a little bit more markup on their bid, or just trying to make a little bit more money. But I'm not privy to that information in the background of what they do with their company. So.
Okay. I'm gonna vote for this, but I do think it's weird that the two upper were closer than the one way lower. But I would like you to watch this to see what they come back with, because if it comes back that it was a change order, then we need to start watching that kind of stuff and having I'm trying to think, a bid system or something where we can keep track of that kind of stuff and keep it on file. So,
it's a fair question.
Director Beck.
Could it possibly be that this group maybe uses fewer workers, so it takes a little longer, but everything else is the same? So
they're given a somewhat of a timeline here, so I don't know exactly how they bid that in the background with their staffing and hours and what hours they're talking about billing the project. I mean, maybe some people are talking about doing more night work or extra hours, so they're a little bit more. But again, without being in their books to know how they're doing it, I don't know for sure.
Well, I would echo what President Gosa said.
Fair enough.
Thanks for answering those questions, though. I'm assuming when they hand you a bid, it's X number of dollars for this many hours, and I always look at that, and when I see other ones that are pretty close, it's always a red flag to me. Seeing no other discussion on that, I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Subject 1111, West High School Gym Addition Train HVAC Pre-Purchase Project. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Hayes.
I move the board approve the contract with Train for the West Gym Addition HVAC in the amount of $722,192.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Director Beck.
I just have a question, and I apologize if I missed this before, but could you explain what it means the price and scope are compliant with Omnia contract pricing?
Omni is a state contract where they asked for bids previous to this, so it's like state pricing is what it's up
right.
to. And we're getting a little bit better than that because we prepay upfront for some things, so we get an additional discount for that typically as well. We run a lot of training products in the building, and this affords us the availability to order it right away. It cuts out lead times and markups by contractors.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. May I have a motion on subject 11.12 Jefferson Elementary Classroom Furniture?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
I move the board approve the purchase of classroom furniture for Jefferson Elementary School from Workspace, Inc. in the amount of $314,466.81.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Director Beck.
I just want to clarify that teachers have seen this proposed furniture and have approved of the choices.
I have not ran it by all teachers, but
Correct.
we did have teachers in the meeting with us looking at the furniture, and the building leadership did as well as we had a student or a couple of students look at it as well.
Cool. Okay, thank you. I do like the fact that it's shown as like big tables, but they're actually individual tables that come apart. So
There's many ways to use it, yes.
Director Klein Jerome.
Does this include teacher desks?
Yes.
Okay.
Director Beck.
sorry, one other question. The teacher desks that are illustrated don't have any drawers? And it may just be that this doesn't show everything, but
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
it looks like those little half circle tables look like they might be the teacher desks, or are those just work tables?
I think they're just work tables for classrooms. What you're seeing, I don't see teacher
Those
desks
aren't
on
the
here.
teacher desks.
Not
Okay,
in these
good.
renderings.
Okay, I take it back then.
Anything else? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Subject 11.13, land purchase. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
I move the board approve the purchase of the property at 829 East 36th Street, Davenport, Iowa, for the amount of $166,000.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Subject 11.14, Head Start Agreement. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Hayes.
I move the board approving the fiscal year 24 contract with Community Action of Eastern Iowa for the amount not to exceed $253,980.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'm so sorry you had to sit through the entire meeting for that. I feel like I should have asked a bunch of questions now. Next subject, 11.15, Superintendent's Contract. May I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Director Klein Jerome.
I move the board approve the superintendent's contract as proposed.
Second.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Director Beck. I'm going to do a roll call vote on this one. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Director Klein Jerome.
Yes.
Director Beck.
Yes.
Director Hayes.
Yes.
And your vote is?
My vote is yes. Motion carries. I just want to get that bead of sweat coming down. All right, that is it for action items. We will move on to discussion items. First subject for discussion is 12.01, discussion for the 95% plans and specifications for demolition of Washington and Monroe. Turn it over to the superintendent.
As you can see, the plans are there. Right now, we would offer to answer any question that the board has in regards to this, so we can get this action moving forward.
Director Beck.
I did have, I know we've been a restore for all of the equipment that teachers have and books and things like that, and we've been pretty good about redistributing everything. I had somebody ask me about woodwork and stonework that might be in those buildings because they are old. And I said I would check, so I'm checking. So I guess things like sort of the old style doors like we have on some of the rooms over here, and some of the crown molding, and even old wood flooring people like to reclaim and then use for other purposes. Also things like if there's an ornate banister or something like that. Is there an opportunity for, it's my understanding, this person was telling me that there are groups that volunteer to come in and do that, so it's not necessarily something that we would have to pay for, but is there an opportunity for somebody to see if there's even anything of that type of value in these buildings before we
can discuss it with our architects. There are some hazards that we would have to work around, and I would worry about that a little bit. So there are some opportunities for possibly fundraisers or a few items to be removed for keepsakes, things like that, I think. And we were discussing that a little bit, but I don't know. We haven't gotten in a big discussion about groups coming in and removing large sections of things like that.
Right. Well, and that's what I mentioned, that sometimes in these older buildings, there's hazards associated with removing things, but, just in the interest of reclaiming what we can, an old gym floor or something like that. Some people like to build stuff out of those kinds of things. So I don't know. It might be worthwhile just checking into.
I think John Mahon with Bray is very in tune with that type of stuff and that organizations that are doing that. So
okay.
I'll discuss further with him if he's aware of anything like that.
Okay. Thank you.
On that note, because we own the building and we're a school district, I don't think there's a process to get rid of things, and I cannot remember what it's called, but like you have to inventory it, and it has to have like I would assume it would be a huge headache to do that, but I'm trying to think what the
It's
process
a
is called.
disposition of property, I believe.
And it has to be like auctioned, and you have to bid on it and all kinds of stuff.
After a certain, isn't it a certain value?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm fine with that. I just said I would ask.
It's disposition of assets. Once the district determines that there's no value of the asset, what we do with it, it's almost like saying we took an old computer, an old CRT monitor, threw it in the dumpster, and someone come and took it out. Fine by us, but we need to make sure that it's of no value at that time. So once we decide to do the demolition, there are points where selling lockers, selling pieces of floor, just saying, hey, like kind of like, I want to get a 3 foot by 3 foot piece of floor. I'll give you $100 for it, kind of thing. That could be done, arranged, and having.
Yeah, that was one of the other examples that somebody brought to me.
Yes.
Was like the lockers and things like that.
Correct.
Director Kleindro.
Washington has an electronic sign out front. Is it very costly for us to move it to, say, Madison, which is in a very prime location for people to see a sign like that?
We're discussing that exact thing. We've talked about it a couple times. I don't recall exactly, but I think that's a little bit older vintage, but it is an electronic sign. The new electronic signs are a little bit better, a little nicer than those, I think, than the first generation. So we're trying to upgrade them, but we can discuss it if there's a place where it could go. If somebody doesn't have a sign, it would be an improvement over nothing. But it is an older vintage sign also. So we're discussing, like, should we pay to move it, even though it would be an older one in our district, to a place that doesn't have one, or should we just continue upgrading the places that don't have them to new ones? Does that make sense?
Yep. But it's better than just throwing it right into the junk pile if we could use it even for a couple years, although I don't know what the cost would be if it's,
Yeah, I mean,
costs too much to move it.
There's a possibility of getting the electricity to that spot, and then let's say it goes bad in 5 years because it is older. We can just drop a new one in that place, and the electricity is already there. Generally speaking, it would still work. So it's not a bad idea, but we have talked about it.
Yeah, I know McKinley doesn't have an electronic sign, and it's not that far.
Yeah.
And I thought about that, but they're not on a prime
That's
road.
true. They
So
are
I was
not
trying to
prime
think what
location.
building I've driven by that is on a prime road that it would be. And I don't know about Monroe if they have a sign or not, but
That could be one of the items that they auction off. I have one before that. My question is pertaining to, and again, I have a construction background. I'm trying to figure out why we would pay an architect when we're tearing two buildings down. I'm assuming it's a law or something somewhere that someone probably overlooked, thinking that, oh, hey, we're going to tear a building down, but we need an architect to tell us how to do it. I mean, essentially, you bring a big ball in and some bulldozers and wham, bam, But I'm curious on that because I did see it in here.
The reality is we must, by law, hire an architect to do this, or an engineer.
Okay. Director Beck. You didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
I forgot to write it down. Sorry. I'll ask you if I think of it later.
Is there any other information board members would need? I'm assuming this would be. Oh, go ahead.
I know you guys are going through and looking for, just making sure that nothing that of its historical value is still there. I just want to remind you to get the cornerstones and any of the plaques. I know Monroe probably has a plaque from when it was built, if it was built probably in about 39. And I'm guessing Washington has the same thing because they're basically the same building. So
they do.
Those would be, I think, important things to keep and put in the library museum.
Yep, we've talked about those already, actually. But
Is there any other information that board members would need? I'm assuming this will be I'm trying to think of the June date, but it'll be the first regular meeting in June.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I do want to note that we will not have a committee of the whole in June because of graduation. So June 12th, we will have this as a action item. The next subject for discussion is curriculum adoptions for career exploration, personal
Dan.
wellness, and 7 to 12 health alternative.
I just want to specify one thing. I believe the date where this will come to as an action item will be June 26th. It takes a little while to get things through process after we approve it. So just wanted to say that. The next one was June 13th. I think June 26th is when this will be ready for an action item.
So are we going to have another discussion on it? Or?
No,
Okay.
it just takes that period of time to get our stuff done in between.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
I apologize for overlooking you, sir. All right, we will now move on to subject 12.02, curriculum adoptions for career exploration, personal wellness, and 7 to 12 health. I'll turn it over to the superintendent.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited. The work that Cindy and her team have been doing, we have really been putting together a plan for curriculum adoptions, and this is the first phase. One of the things that we are really committing to is putting the best tools possible in our teachers' hands. And so what you see before you is the first step in that. And we have basically put together a cycle for all of our curricular needs, and most recently seen our reading and math coming forward. But if anybody has any questions about 12.02, Allie Vandermeide and Dr. Lewis are here to answer any questions that we may have.
Director Klein-Jerome.
Would career exploration fall under Carl Perkins in any way? And could we use money to?
The answer is yes, but, right? So with Carl Perkins funding, the teacher in place has to have a CTE certification. The career exploration classes are built to be able to be taught by anybody in the junior highs. So there's kind of some places where there's overlap and some places, where there's not. So what we're trying to do is fund the curriculum resources that every building needs out of ESSER, and then being able to support those people with the Perkins funds, which, to be fair, do also support all of our high school programs as well. So, there's a limited amount.
Okay, thank you.
Director Beck.
Can you explain what a personal wellness room is as opposed to just a gym?
Yeah, so the personal wellness course, the equipment that we're expanding to is a room of treadmills and a room of ellipticals. So that includes all of the electrical work for that. We're going to be reusing the floor from the old weight room and put that up into that room because they said that that's still good. But we do need the electrical done and then the installation of those machines.
Director Beck.
One other question. So with the health course curriculum, when you say resources, is that like models and things like that? Or is it more book?
This is a textbook. This
Okay.
specific one is the textbook resource.
Okay, thank you.
My question pertaining along the lines of this stuff. So we offer a lot of awesome things, right? But is there anywhere built into there to do like some videos on what the potential classes are that you could be doing? Because I feel like people don't know, and if whether they start it in 7th grade and they see it, oh wow, I'd really like to try that, and that might pique their interest, or maybe it's videos that are blasted out on our social media pages for and parents to it sparks that conversation at home on maybe some things that the kids might like. I would love to see something like that come out of this, because I think all of my kids watch everything on YouTube, and whatever if it's a video game or what, they watch a video game on kids playing the game that they're going to play, so they know, you know, what to do and different things like that. And that's what it seems like sparks the interest of a lot of these kids today. So if that's like a way that we can reach them, I think that would be phenomenal to have that kind of built into this stuff. I don't know if I'm off base with asking that. But
Not at all.
it's kind of-
She was asking about Carl Perkins. We actually, at the end of the year, have what we call Carl Perkins Week, where we pull in all of the CTE teachers for the week and have these conversations. And that's actually one of the things on our agenda for this week is recruitment and what that looks like and how we're doing it and what are better ways that we can do. We'll be looking at the data from the last 5 years for recruitment as well as concentrators, and so students who actually finish our career pathways.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. You guys are just knocking these discussions out. Is there any other information board members would need? Can this one be on the 12th, or does it need to be on the 26th? The 12th? Okay. I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to push me back like Josh was going to do.
I hope so. I hope
All
we're
right.
doing it.
Thank you very, very much. And I think that's our last discussion item. And now I'm going to say administrative reports, and he's going to tell me there's none at this time. Okay. Are there any board requests? None at this time. Board reflections, Director Beck.
What can I say? It's always fantastic to see all the scholarship winners and the people who've won fine arts awards. And I really especially loved the Bluegrass Youth Leadership Team's presentation. I thought that was a fantastic presentation, and they're a really great example of what those teams are for. Those videos were fantastic. So.
Thank you, Director Beck. Director Hayes.
I enjoyed all the presentations, but I did like to see the Donna Holman Award, to see an adult thrown in there. We do a lot of things for the kids. That's what we do. And, you know, to have the excitement of the Buffalo team and then have an employee that was actually thrown in there, or the Bluegrass, I'm sorry, have the adult thrown in there. I enjoyed her getting recognized, not even knowing anything about it.
Thank you, Director Hayes. Director Kleindrum.
I also, when we were putting the agenda together, we're like, wow, that's a lot of recognitions, but they all needed to be recognized. That was awesome to see all the students who were recognized in some way or another. Youth leadership team at Bluegrass has put a lot of work in, and their videos, when you said videos for CTE, that's what reminded me of. Why not make them, put them in the elementaries and show kids and the junior high that they all get to see this till they can actually sign up for some of those. I thought that was great. The biliteracy seal, I mean, these kids are going above and beyond. And also the fact that we are recognizing, you know, through our retirement, our years of recognition, somebody from food service as well. I mean, this is what we should be doing, is shout out to people who are doing great things for our district.
Thank you. Superintendent Schneckloff.
I echo everything that everybody said. So I'll go with a different path. The curriculum adoptions, this is the first of many that's going to be coming forward. I'm just so excited about the allocation of resources. You look at this, everything that this board said they were going to do is starting to happen, and it's just very exciting, you know. And to see those, to do what you said you were going to do is what we're doing, and I'm very excited about that.
Thank you. I think we had an awesome meeting tonight. It's always awesome to see all of the kids getting, you know, their scholarships and recognized. I am a little sad. It's our student board members' last meeting with us. They've been a huge asset for us. And it was really nice being appreciated by the superintendent. It makes those late night phone calls very much worth it. It is a 24/7 gig for anybody who's thinking about it. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Yes, and also, don't forget, tomorrow night is a student-built house, open house. I think it starts at, 3 to 5, 3 to 5. Make sure you go out there and support those kiddos. I know Brenda has it on my calendar, so I will be there. And with that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Bruce is not here to entertain a motion to adjourn. Perfect. Seconded. I'm Sherman. There's no discussion on that. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.